Have you ever reached for a handful of nuts, confident in your heart that you were making one of the most virtuous, heart-healthy choices praised universally by doctors, nutritionists, and wellness experts alike? You picture them in your mind as these perfect tiny nuggets of pure, unadulterated, wholesome energy, a gift from nature itself, designed to fuel your body and protect your health. It is a comforting and pervasive image, one reinforced by decades of health marketing and dietary advice. But what if that seemingly innocent and profoundly trusted snack, sitting right there in a bowl on your counter or in a bag in your pantry, is in fact a silent saboteur, a Trojan horse carrying hidden risks into the fortress of your well-being? What if some of those very nuts, the ones you have been told to eat for a long and healthy life, are secretly and insidiously fueling the low-grade chronic inflammation that makes your joints ache and your body feel stiff? What if they are systematically weakening your precious muscle strength, contributing to frailty and a loss of independence? What if they are sending your blood sugar on a dangerous and unpredictable roller coaster, and in doing so, putting your heart, your arteries, and even your brain at profound and cumulative risk? It is a truly shocking and unsettling possibility, one that most people have never ever been prompted to consider, but it is a fundamental and empowering truth that you absolutely need to hear, especially as you navigate the unique physiological challenges and opportunities that come with aging. This is not about generating fear, but about fostering a deeper, more nuanced understanding of the foods you rely on daily. Do not panic. There is no need for alarm or a complete overhaul of your dietary philosophy. Today, we are embarking on a journey of discovery, pulling back the heavy, ornate curtain that has long obscured the complex world of nuts. Our mission is to transform the widespread confusion and misinformation into crystal clear clarity, and to convert any nascent fear into a powerful sense of personal empowerment. We will begin by methodically and unflinchingly exposing the 5 specific types of nuts that you should thoughtfully and strategically consider removing from your diet, particularly if your goals are to protect your hard-earned physical strength, sharpen the acuity of your mind, and maintain your cherished day-to-day independence for decades to come. Then, with the problematic choices set aside, we will joyfully celebrate the 5 absolute best nuts that you can and should be eating. These are the true nutritional heroes, the superfoods capable of supercharging your energy levels, fortifying the intricate workings of your heart, enhancing your memory and cognitive function, and keeping your body moving with the grace, flexibility, and ease that you so richly deserve. By the time we are finished with this comprehensive exploration, you will have become a veritable master of your own pantry, equipped with the knowledge to know exactly which nuts to cast aside without a second thought, and which to embrace with open arms as your trusted allies in health. And you will absolutely, positively want to stay with us through this entire discussion, because one of the nuts on our critical avoid list contains a powerful, hidden compound that is very rarely discussed in mainstream health media, yet it could be quietly and systematically undermining your health day after day without you ever suspecting its insidious influence. Asks why the right nuts are crucial for a vibrant life. Before we dive headfirst into the specific lists of the good, the bad, and the deceptive, it is absolutely essential that we pause to understand why this conversation is so incredibly important and profoundly relevant, especially as we gather more birthdays and our body's needs become more specific and less forgiving. Nuts are masterfully and relentlessly marketed as nature's perfect food, a compact and convenient package bursting with high-quality protein, an abundance of healthy fats, fiber, vitamins, and a veritable symphony of micronutrients that, on the surface, sound like a guaranteed recipe for lifelong vitality. The reality, however, is far more nuanced, complex, and context-dependent. Not all nuts are created equal, and this is a critical distinction that is often lost in the broad strokes advice to simply eat more nuts. For those of us navigating the profound and inevitable changes that come with the aging process, choosing the wrong nut can inadvertently do significantly more harm than good, subtly sabotaging our health goals while we believe we are making a prudent choice. The biochemistry of an aging body is different, and our nutritional strategies must adapt accordingly to be effective. As we mature, our bodies undergo a profound and multifaceted transformation. Our internal systems for processing nutrients and, just as importantly, for eliminating toxins and metabolic byproducts become demonstrably less efficient and more easily overwhelmed than they were in our youth. Our bones and muscles, the very architectural framework that underpins our mobility and independence, cry out for highly specialized and targeted nutritional support to fend off the natural decline of sarcopenia and osteoporosis. Our hearts and brains, the tireless command centers of our entire being, demand a higher and more consistent quality of fuel to continue functioning at their peak capacity, warding off cardiovascular disease and cognitive decline. In this context, choosing the wrong nuts can be precisely like throwing a handful of fine, abrasive sand into the delicate and finely tuned gears of this intricate biological machinery. These problematic nuts can ignite the smoldering fires of chronic inflammation, creating a systemic environment of stress and pain. They can dangerously interfere with the metabolism and efficacy of essential, life-sustaining medications. In some cases, they can even directly elevate your risk for serious, life-altering conditions like type 2 diabetes, kidney disease, and heart disease. The right nuts, on the other hand, are the polar opposite. They are like a daily delicious dose of powerful preventative medicine. They are potent and steadfast allies that can help you stay active and mobile, think with crystal clarity and speed, and wake up each morning feeling genuinely energized, refreshed, and ready to embrace the day. So let us begin this essential journey of nutritional empowerment by first uncovering the culprits, the 5 nuts that you should seriously consider avoiding, and the compelling science-backed reasons why they might be holding you back from living your best and most vibrant life. The deceptive danger of bitter almonds. Let's kick things off with a nut that sounds perfectly innocent, even healthful due to its famous family name, but which hides a surprisingly dangerous and potent secret: the bitter almond. Your first very logical thought might be, but wait, almonds are consistently ranked as one of the healthiest foods on the planet. I eat them all the time. And you are absolutely right in that assessment when you are talking about the ubiquitous sweet almonds that you buy in bags and bulk bins at your local grocery store. Bitter almonds, however, are a completely different and far more treacherous botanical relative, and it is a critical distinction that you must be acutely aware of for your own safety. They look similar, but their internal chemistry is worlds apart, and this difference can have serious consequences. While they are not commonly sold for direct consumption in many Western countries due to these risks, they can still appear in certain ethnic markets in the form of extracts or deceptively marketed as a natural health product, making this knowledge essential for any discerning consumer. Unlike their sweet, perfectly edible cousins, bitter almonds contain a potent and naturally occurring chemical compound called amygdalin. On its own, amygdalin is relatively inert. However, when you consume raw bitter almonds, the enzymes present in your saliva and your digestive system trigger a chemical reaction that rapidly converts this compound directly into hydrogen cyanide. Yes, you read that correctly. That's cyanide, the notoriously fast-acting and deadly poison that has a grim reputation for a very good reason. Cyanide wreaks havoc on the body by inhibiting a critical enzyme involved in cellular respiration, effectively preventing your cells from being able to use the oxygen delivered to them by your bloodstream. This leads to a state of cellular asphyxiation, shutting down vital organ systems from the inside out. This profound risk is significantly amplified for seniors as our body's natural detoxification pathways, primarily managed by the liver, become less robust and efficient with age. This makes us far more vulnerable to the harmful effects of toxic substances, as we are less able to neutralize and excrete them before they can cause damage. The scientific literature is clear. Ingesting as few as 4 or 5 raw bitter almonds can be enough to trigger alarming and acute symptoms like severe dizziness, vertigo, intense nausea, vomiting, and a state of mental confusion that can mimic a stroke. If that number climbs to 10 or more, particularly for an older individual or a child. It could very well lead to a life-threatening medical emergency requiring immediate intervention. Scientific studies have repeatedly demonstrated that cyanide exposure, even in small cumulative amounts over time, puts a significant and dangerous strain on the heart and the central nervous system, two systems that are already working harder and have less reserve capacity in older adults. You might encounter bitter almonds being sold under the deceptive name apricot kernels, or marketed with unsubstantiated claims as a natural cancer cure or health remedy. But do not be fooled by this dangerous misinformation. There is absolutely nothing therapeutic or healthful about knowingly ingesting a substance that your own body converts into a potent poison. While thorough cooking and processing can neutralize the amygdalin and render it harmless, the extreme risk associated with any potential accidental consumption of raw, bitter almonds is simply too great to justify their presence in your home. For a life of vibrancy, safety, and cherished independence, this is one nut to banish from your kitchen entirely and without hesitation. The problem with peanuts. Next up on our list is a beloved and ubiquitous staple found in countless kitchens, pantries, and lunchboxes, and at nearly every social gathering from baseball games to backyard barbecues, the humble peanut. Who among us can truly resist the simple pleasure of a salty handful of roasted peanuts at a ball game, or the comforting, nostalgic smear of creamy peanut butter on a warm piece of toast? They are undeniably affordable, they are exceptionally versatile, and they seem like a simple, no-fuss, go-to solution for a quick and satisfying protein boost. But here is the critical catch that often goes unmentioned in mainstream dietary advice. Peanuts are not as friendly or benign as they appear, particularly for the unique physiological needs and vulnerabilities of the aging body. Their very nature and how they are grown and processed introduces several significant health concerns that can accumulate over time and contribute to a decline in well-being. First and foremost, it is important to address a surprising and often misunderstood botanical fact. Peanuts are not technically nuts at all. They are legumes like beans and peas, which means they grow underground in the warm, damp, and dark environment of the soil. This specific growing condition makes them highly and uniquely susceptible to contamination by a group of toxic compounds known as aflatoxins. These are not benign or harmless substances. They are potent mycotoxins produced by certain types of mold, specifically Aspergillus flavus and Aspergillus parasiticus, that thrive in these exact conditions. Extensive and robust scientific research has unequivocally linked long-term, low-level exposure to aflatoxins with significant stress on the liver, a progressive weakening of the immune system's ability to respond to threats, and even a demonstrably increased risk of developing certain types of cancer, most notably liver cancer. As we age, our liver function naturally becomes less efficient, and our bodies face a much greater challenge in effectively clearing out these insidious toxins from our system. This allows them to accumulate over time, contributing to a host of vague but debilitating symptoms like chronic fatigue, brain fog, and a state of systemic, low-grade inflammation that can worsen other health conditions and accelerate the overall aging process. Furthermore, peanuts are packed with omega-6 fatty acids. While these fats are an essential part of the human diet, the typical modern diet provides them in overwhelming and pro-inflammatory excess, while providing far too few anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids. When the ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fats becomes dramatically skewed, as it is in the diets of most people, it acts like gasoline on the fire of chronic inflammation throughout the entire body. This inflammation is a primary driver of the nagging aches and pains in our joints, the development of atherosclerotic plaques in our arteries that lead to heart issues, and even the cognitive fog that can cloud our memory and thinking. For seniors who are on common blood-thinning medications like warfarin, Coumadin, peanuts introduce another direct and serious risk. Their high concentration of vitamin K can directly interfere with how these crucial drugs work, potentially disrupting the delicate balance required for proper anticoagulation and increasing the chance of dangerous blood clots or, conversely, uncontrolled bleeding episodes. And do not for a moment assume that the jar of peanut butter in your cupboard is any safer. Most commercially produced versions are a veritable cocktail of unhealthy additives, including added sugars that disrupt blood glucose, excessive salt that raises blood pressure, and unhealthy hydrogenated oils, trans fats that are directly toxic to your cardiovascular system. While they may be easy on the wallet, the long-term consumption of peanuts could be costing you your energy, your joint health, and your overall well-being in the long run. Mauso, the macadamia nut trap. Let us now turn our critical attention to a nut that is often perceived as a luxurious, exotic, and exceptionally healthy treat, the macadamia nut. With their incredibly rich, decadent, buttery flavor and uniquely smooth, satisfying texture, macadamia nuts feel like a true indulgence, and they are frequently marketed and priced as a premium health food, often found in gourmet trail mixes and high-end snack bars. For seniors, however, a closer and more discerning look at their specific nutritional profile reveals a far less glamorous and supportive truth. Despite their high-end reputation, they are not the powerful health allies they appear to be, and their regular consumption can subtly undermine some of the most important health goals for older adults, particularly those related to strength and mobility. The single defining characteristic of macadamia nuts is their extraordinarily high fat content, which is higher than that of any other nut. Approximately 75% of their total calories come directly from fat, while it is true that a significant portion of these are the healthy monounsaturated fats also found in olive oil. This extreme fat-centric profile comes at a significant and detrimental cost. Macadamia nuts are remarkably and disappointingly low in both protein and fiber. These two specific nutrients are absolutely critical for the health and well-being of older adults. Protein is the fundamental building block for every tissue in your body and is essential for maintaining muscle mass and strength, helping your body to repair and rebuild itself after any form of activity, from a gentle walk to recovering from an illness. Without an adequate and consistent supply of dietary protein, you can experience an accelerated rate of age-related muscle loss, a condition known as sarcopenia, which leads directly to progressive weakness, a slower recovery from injuries, and a dangerously higher risk of debilitating falls. Fiber is equally crucial for maintaining optimal digestive health, preventing constipation, and ensuring regularity, which are common concerns for many seniors. Their sheer caloric density also makes it incredibly easy to overconsume them without feeling full, which can lead to unintentional weight gain, especially for those with a less active lifestyle. Every single extra pound of body weight places significant additional stress on your weight-bearing joints, your hips, knees, and ankles, making it more difficult to stay mobile, active, and pain-free. To make matters worse, a vast majority of the macadamia nuts available in stores are roasted in cheap, highly inflammatory vegetable oils like canola or soybean oil and are often heavily coated in salt. These additions directly exacerbate the joint stiffness and pain associated with arthritis and contribute directly to elevated blood pressure, which are two of the most significant and prevalent health concerns for the senior population. A landmark 2019 study published in the esteemed scientific journal Nutrients highlighted that diets that are high in fat and simultaneously low in protein can significantly speed up the process of muscle loss in older adults. Macadamia nuts fit this detrimental nutritional profile almost perfectly. Therefore, if your primary goal is to preserve your physical strength, protect your precious mobility, and maintain your independence for as long as possible, macadamia nuts are an expensive indulgence that offers very little in return for the high caloric and low protein price you pay. The hidden risks of pine nuts. Our fourth nut to approach with significant caution might come as a surprise to many, as it is so small, delicate, and seems utterly harmless. The pine nut. You have likely enjoyed these elegant teardrop-shaped nuts sprinkled generously over a fresh caprese salad, toasted to release their aroma and scattered over roasted vegetables, or blended into a vibrant classic basil pesto, thinking you were adding a sophisticated gourmet and unequivocally healthy touch to your meal. For older adults, however, the consumption of pine nuts carries some significant and frequently overlooked risks that extend beyond their high price tag. These risks involve potential drug interactions and a bizarre side effect that can have serious downstream consequences for overall health and nutrition. One of the most pressing and under-discussed concerns is their potential to interact with a wide range of common life-saving medications. Pine nuts contain a unique fatty acid compound called pinolenic acid, which is not found in most other foods. Scientific studies have shown that this specific compound can affect how the liver processes certain classes of drugs by influencing the activity of the cytochrome P450 enzyme system, which is responsible for metabolizing the vast majority of pharmaceuticals. This includes widely prescribed medications for managing high blood pressure, cholesterol-lowering statins, and powerful drugs used to manage heart rhythm and prevent atrial fibrillation. A comprehensive 2022 review published in the journal Frontiers in Nutrition pointed out that pinolenic acid has the ability to alter the activity of these crucial liver enzymes, a change that can throw your entire, carefully calibrated treatment plan dangerously off balance. This interference could lead to very serious consequences, such as the drug becoming too potent and causing toxic side effects, or becoming less potent and failing to provide its intended therapeutic benefit, resulting in dangerously unstable blood pressure or frighteningly irregular heartbeats. This is especially worrisome and critical for seniors who are often managing multiple prescriptions concurrently, a situation known as polypharmacy, as these subtle food-drug interactions can go completely unnoticed until a major adverse health event occurs. Furthermore, pine nuts are responsible for a bizarre, unpleasant, and still not fully understood side effect known as pine mouth or metallojuice. After eating them, some individuals develop a persistent and intrusive metallic or bitter taste in their mouth that can last for days or even, in some cases, for several weeks. For seniors who may already be struggling with a diminished sense of taste or a reduced appetite, both common issues as we age, this debilitating side effect can make the very act of eating unappealing and unpleasant, potentially leading to unintended weight loss, nutritional deficiencies, increased weakness, and a much slower recovery from any illness or surgery. Finally, pine nuts are very high in delicate polyunsaturated fats that can oxidize and go rancid extremely quickly when exposed to heat, light, or air. When this happens, they release a cascade of harmful free radicals into your body. These unstable molecules can accelerate the aging of your brain cells, contribute to the formation of plaque that clogs your arteries, and worsen the inflammatory pain in your joints. Their small, hard, and slippery shape can also present a significant choking hazard, particularly for those who experience age-related dry mouth, xerostomia, or have any difficulties with swallowing, dysphagia. While they may seem like a fancy and harmless flourish for your plate, pine nuts could be quietly undermining your health from multiple unexpected angles. Why cashews can be a concern. Finally, in our list of nuts to avoid, let's talk about cashews. This creamy, buttery, and crescent-shaped nut is an undeniable crowd pleaser, beloved for its mild flavor and versatility in both sweet and savory dishes, and it is often praised in health circles for its content of heart-healthy, monounsaturated fats. But for seniors, the regular consumption of cashews can pose some serious and rarely discussed risks, especially when it comes to the long-term health and integrity of your bones, your blood sugar regulation, and your kidney function. These hidden downsides are important to understand as they directly impact several key areas of health that are of paramount concern in later life. Cashews are notably and unusually high in a class of naturally occurring plant compounds called oxalates. When you consume foods rich in oxalates, they travel through your digestive system and act like tiny, powerful magnets for essential minerals, particularly calcium. The oxalates bind tightly to calcium ions in your gut, forming an insoluble compound, calcium oxalate, that your body cannot absorb. This effectively prevents that precious dietary calcium from ever reaching your bloodstream, and consequently your bones. Over time, a diet that is consistently high in Oxalate-rich foods can contribute significantly to weaker bones, increasing your risk of developing osteopenia and eventually full-blown osteoporosis, which dramatically elevates the risk of life-altering fractures. This is a major and critical concern, as bone density naturally declines with age, making every single milligram of absorbable dietary calcium incredibly precious for maintaining skeletal strength and structural integrity. A comprehensive 2018 study published in the prestigious American Journal of Clinical Nutrition confirmed that the consumption of high oxalate foods can dramatically reduce the bioavailability of calcium from a meal, a critical issue for seniors who are actively working to preserve their skeletal health and prevent fractures. Beyond their detrimental impact on bone health, cashews also contain a higher amount of carbohydrates compared to most other nuts. This higher carbohydrate load can lead to more pronounced and rapid blood sugar spikes after eating them, which is particularly dangerous for anyone managing prediabetes or type 2 diabetes. These repeated sharp increases in blood sugar can inflict cumulative damage on the delicate blood vessels throughout your body, especially in your extremities like your legs and feet. This can lead to serious complications like peripheral neuropathy, numbness, tingling and pain, poor circulation, and wounds that heal very slowly, increasing the risk of infections. On top of that, the same oxalates that interfere with calcium absorption can crystallize in your kidneys, significantly raising your risk of developing painful and debilitating kidney stones, especially if you are not consistently vigilant about staying well hydrated, a common challenge for many seniors. And much like pine nuts, the smooth, dense and firm texture of cashews can make them a potential choking hazard for individuals who have age-related difficulties with chewing or swallowing. While they may be a tasty and popular treat, the hidden risks of cashews mean they could be silently robbing your bones of their essential strength, destabilizing your blood sugar levels and putting your kidneys at unnecessary risk. The 5 best nuts for a strong and sharp future. Now, after that cautionary but necessary tour of the nuts to avoid, we arrive at the wonderfully good news. Just as some nuts can pose hidden risks and subtly undermine your health, others are genuine, unadulterated superfoods, especially for the unique needs of seniors. These nuts are densely and perfectly packed with the exact nutrients your body requires to support a healthy and resilient heart, a sharp and agile brain, strong and stable muscles, and a profound sense of overall vitality. Let's enthusiastically shift gears and celebrate the 5 absolute best nuts that you should be consciously and regularly incorporating into your diet to stay strong, sharp, mobile, and energized as you age. These are not just random choices pulled from a hat. They are selections backed by a wealth of solid scientific evidence and have been carefully chosen for their specific, demonstrable benefits in helping you to not just age, but to truly thrive in your later years. The humble power of chestnuts. First on our esteemed list of nutritional heroes is the unique and often greatly underestimated chestnut. In the world of nuts, chestnuts are a true outlier, and their distinctive nutritional profile makes them a standout choice for seniors. Unlike almost any other nut, which are defined by their high fat content, chestnuts are remarkably low in fat and conversely high in high-quality complex carbohydrates and dietary fiber. This unique composition makes them a fantastic and superior choice for providing steady, long-lasting energy without the subsequent blood sugar spikes and energy crashes associated with simple carbohydrates. This slow-release energy is ideal for fueling your daily activities and preventing midday slumps. Their high fiber content is also a huge boon for promoting excellent digestive health, preventing constipation, and feeding the beneficial bacteria in your gut microbiome. Furthermore, chestnuts are one of the only nuts to contain a significant and bioavailable amount of vitamin C, a powerful antioxidant that is crucial for supporting a robust immune system, repairing tissues, and promoting healthy skin. This vitamin C is paired with a healthy dose of vitamin E and other potent antioxidants that work synergistically to fight systemic inflammation and protect your cells, including your muscle cells, from the cumulative oxidative stress and wear and tear that comes with age. A compelling 2021 study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that regular consumption of chestnuts was directly linked to better long-term blood sugar control and significantly lower levels of harmful bad LDL cholesterol, making them a brilliant and heart-protective dietary choice. You can enjoy chestnuts in their classic roasted form for a cozy and deeply satisfying snack. You can grind them into a versatile gluten-free flour for baking nutritious breads and pastries. Or you can chop them up and add them to salads, stuffings, or grain bowls for a delightful, slightly sweet flavor and a wonderful texture. They are a delicious, versatile, and incredibly nourishing choice for any senior's diet. Dibam, the all-around excellence of almonds. Next up on our list of champions, we celebrate the almond, the sweet edible almond, to be crystal clear, and not its dangerous bitter cousin that we warned against earlier. Sweet almonds are a true all-purpose nutritional powerhouse for seniors, offering a comprehensive suite of benefits that support nearly every aspect of health. They are loaded with bone-building calcium and magnesium, as well as an abundance of healthy monounsaturated fats that provide robust support for your bones, your muscles, your heart, and your brain. As we age and maintaining bone density becomes a top priority to prevent fractures, the significant amounts of calcium and magnesium found in almonds work as a synergistic team. The calcium provides the core building block for bone structure, while the magnesium is essential for helping your body to properly absorb and utilize that calcium, ensuring it gets deposited in your bones and not in your arteries, where it can cause calcification and hardening. A major 2020 study in the Journal of Nutrition demonstrated that older adults who regularly ate a serving of nuts like almonds had significantly better overall physical function, faster walking speeds, and lower rates of frailty compared to those who did not. Almonds also deliver a generous dose of high-quality plant-based protein, which is absolutely vital for helping you to maintain your crucial muscle mass and strength, which in turn is vital for staying active, maintaining balance, and preventing falls. Their rich fiber content helps to ease common digestive issues like constipation and bloating, while promoting a healthy gut environment. And perhaps most impressively, the potent antioxidants, including flavonoids and vitamin E that are concentrated in their thin brown skin, act as diligent bodyguards for your brain cells, protecting them from the onslaught of oxidative stress and inflammation that drives age-related cognitive decline and helping to keep your memory sharp and your focus clear. You can sprinkle chopped almonds on your morning oatmeal or yogurt. Blend them into a creamy and nutrient-dense smoothie. Use almond flour in your baking, or simply enjoy a small handful for a perfectly balanced and satisfying snack that nourishes your entire body. Walnuts, the ultimate brain food. Then we have the magnificent walnut, and there is something almost preternaturally fitting about its appearance. With their uncanny, wrinkled resemblance to a tiny human brain, it seems as though nature itself is giving us a clue about their primary benefit. Indeed, walnuts are one of the absolute best and most well-researched foods you can possibly eat to protect your cognitive function and keep your mind sharp and lucid as you age. They stand apart from other nuts because they are one of the richest plant-based sources of ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, a type of omega-3 fatty acid that is essential for human health. This specific fatty acid plays a critical structural role in maintaining the health and fluidity of your brain cell membranes, which is fundamental for effective neurotransmission and, by extension, for supporting memory, focus, learning, and motor coordination. Beyond their omega-3 content, walnuts also contain a unique class of powerful antioxidants called polyphenols, specifically elagitannins, which have the remarkable ability to cross the highly selective blood-brain barrier. Once inside the brain, they can directly protect your delicate neurons from the damaging effects of inflammation and oxidative stress, two of the primary well-established drivers of age-related cognitive decline and neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. The scientific evidence supporting this is compelling. A large-scale 2019 study published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging found that seniors who ate walnuts regularly as part of their diet performed significantly better on a whole battery of memory and cognitive function tests compared to their non-walnut eating peers. But the benefits do not stop at the brain. The high concentration of an amino acid called arginine in walnuts helps the body produce nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes blood vessels and supports healthy blood flow. This improved circulation ensures that a rich supply of oxygen is efficiently delivered not only to your brain but also to your muscles, helping to keep them strong, nourished, and stable. Incorporating just a small handful of these brain-boosting nuts into your diet a few times a week is a simple and delicious strategy that can make a noticeable and lasting difference in your cognitive and physical health. Box of Brazil nuts, the selenium superstar. Brazil nuts are a true hidden gem in the vast world of nutrition, a powerful food that is often overlooked but offers extraordinary benefits, especially for the aging population. These large, creamy, and satisfying nuts are, by a huge margin, one of the planet's richest and most reliable natural sources of selenium, a critical trace mineral that plays a profound and often underappreciated role in thyroid health, the regulation of your metabolism, and the maintenance of your muscle strength and function. Your thyroid gland acts as your body's master metabolic regulator, controlling everything from your energy levels and body temperature to the very strength and